Sometimes you just wake up and feel like gulping down a whole mug of like cold bread. This is one of those days. Oh, and I'm lactose.
Are you for real?
Like a bit. Like who isn't though? Who isn't? Who isn't lactose?
Yeah.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Good for you, ah. The team wanted Roti Boy, so I made Roti Boy. It's just one of those things that really hits home for me, just because I had so many memories eating it as a fat kid, so you know I had to make it. For this, we're gonna make a sweet bread. We have a beautiful stand mixer here today. If you don't have a beautiful stand mixer like that, you can also use your hands. You can just plow it a lot. You just need a bit more time and a bit more muscle. But yeah, it can be done. You want the milk to be lukewarm. Why? Because that will activate the instant yeast that we just put in. So we are gonna let this go until a rough ball forms, and then we're gonna add in our softened butter. So I know it doesn't look super pretty now. We're gonna let this go for about 10 or 15 minutes, and intermittently we can also scrape down the sides so that everything just gets married together. Where? Oh. So you know it's ready, right, when first of all you feel the surface and it's wet, but it doesn't stick to your fingers. It might stick to the surfaces a bit, but you know, with a bit of a pull, you can sort of like dislodge the dough entirely. Go ahead and give that a little knead, and then we're gonna roll it into a ball. This is our baby dough. It's so pretty. We're gonna plop that in. I feel like that didn't land the way I wanted it to land. Maybe like off the center, huh? That's great. We're gonna let this proof, leave it in a warm place for anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes, or until it doubles in size. So it's been an hour, and now we gotta punch the dough down.
That was so aggressive.
We're gonna cut it up into 8 baby pieces for the second proofing. At this point in time, we're gonna add in cubes of salted butter into the middle of the bread so that when you bite into the bread, you get that burst of like salted butter mixed with the sweet, and it's just gonna be great. And make sure it's pinched, so otherwise your butter's gonna leak out. Ta-da! Now we're gonna cling wrap it and let it proof for the second time for another hour or so. So the most iconic thing about Roti Boy is that beautiful coffee crust. First things first, we're gonna mix some instant coffee and some room temp water. So fun fact, instant coffee granules that look like that, they are actually pre-roasted already. So that means that if you add hot water to it, you're gonna burn the coffee, which is why a lot of times people always say that instant coffee tastes like extra bitter. You're supposed to add room temp water, and then if you want to drink like hot coffee, then you add hot water. The more you know. Make sure your butter is soft so that when you whisk it, you won't have any resistance. Oh, that was a good throw. So you want to whip this until it's pale and fluffy. So the next step is to add an egg at room temp. I know it looks gross, but it's going to come together.
Trust.
Trust the process. So right now we're gonna put all of that filling into this piping bag. If you don't have this piping bag, you can just use a Ziploc bag and then just snip off the corner and do the same. Because it helps to hold everything nice in place while you just like look at these pretty babies. We're gonna snip off just a little bit so that we have more control of how we pipe. Boop. Like this feels good. This feels good. And according to Chef Grace, I am supposed to hold this like a pen, right?
Pen?
No, is that not what you said? So you want to start in on the middle, right? And then just like go swirly swirl, keeping it nice and tight. We want to end around almost midway. Somewhere midway. Because everything's gonna like melt down into the crust and it's gonna be beautiful. And the whole bun will be covered with the coffee crust. Oh my god, I should shoot you doing that. Oh my god, you should. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you doing that.
Okay.
Yours. Chef Grace. You can always go ahead and fill in the bits that you missed out.
More cookie, more better.
More cookie, more better.
Chef Kelly.
Chef Kelly. Nice. Flaky sea salt. We're gonna put this in the oven. It's gonna go for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Mmm. Oh my god. Look how fluffy that is. The salty butter inside really just goes so well with the coffee and the sweetness from the bread. Oh, it's just great. I didn't grow up in a family that was like super well-to-do, right? So every time we went shopping, usually I couldn't get what I wanted to buy. But at the end of the entire shopping trip, there will always be a roti boy. Now I remember feeling like I had so much when I was eating that roti boy. Mmm. Oh. 不错不错啊。Oh? Did you eat roti boy when you were a child? Really? That's a great conversation, man. Mmm.
哇，你的7月生 bacon，
I also. Confirm can do it. You guys gotta make this recipe. As a guy who doesn't even really bake that much, I can throw this together, which means you definitely can do it, and you should do it.